All right, my dear American patriots, you know how much I love America. You know how much I appreciate Americans' willingness to fight back and push back against the attempts of Islamizing America. I'm a huge fan of Governor Greg Abbott, Congressman Randy Fine, and there are some other good politicians as well who are fighting back. But a few good men is not going to cut it because our enemy is united, very committed to the ideological cause. They have successfully infiltrated our bureaucracy, our political establishment, even the military. I was actually seeing a video where an American patriot soldier was talking about how the US military is being infiltrated by Islamists who are spreading their toxic Islamist ideals. I don't even call them traitors because they are true to their cause, but you got to be true to your cause. Islam and the West are like oil and water. They can never mix. They are committed to their cause. We should be committed to our cause, which is preserving our interest, Western interests, built on Western values. Multiculturalism has failed, and Islamism is at the forefront of it. Islamists will stop at absolutely nothing until they see the entire world succumb to Islam. Why am I talking about this? Have a look at this, guys. Actually, before I play you these videos, I need to give you a bit of a rundown. Have a look at these people. The one on the left you see, Hassan Piker, he's an anchor baby. He was born in New Jersey, was immediately taken back to Turkey because obviously his parents didn't want him to be spoiled by Western ideals. This was a very common idea of a lot of Muslim parents in the 90s. They didn't want their children to get out of hand. That's how they describe it. If we raise our children in America, then they will become like Americans. They will start they'll start going to nightclubs. They'll get into drinking and gambling, and they'll fornicate, etc. So a lot of Muslim parents took their kids back to their native Muslim countries. But a lot of them stayed back too, and you're paying the price for it. Linda Sarsour and these other two women that you're looking at, they're the product. They're the result of that. So not everyone took their kids back, but some of them did take their kids back. And where he was raised, where they were raised, like for example, Hassan Piker, he was raised in Turkey and lived there until he was 18. He grew up hating America, Christians and Jews like everyone else in Turkey. Well, probably not everyone, but you know, he obviously grew up in the era of Erdogan, who is obviously an Islamist. He hates the West. He doesn't even hide it. So he came back to the US as an adult. Now he's got nothing nice to say about America. He has said that America deserved 9/11. America is a fascist country. It bombs Muslim countries, and it deserves everything that is going wrong with America. He hates America. He doesn't even hide it. I don't understand why America allows this. I understand why America allows this because these people have constitutional freedoms, and they are exploiting that. Sorry, this magpie is annoying me. I don't know if you can hear him. If you can, then please ignore it. But it is annoying me anyway. Look at the second woman. She's the key. She's the star of this video. Her name is Aber Kawas. She was born in New York to Palestinian Muslim parents. She grew up hating America and openly supports Hamas and Islamic Jihad, saying America deserved 9/11, just like Hassan Piker. Her parents, and if she was of age when 9/11 happened, I don't know how old she is. I'm assuming she's in her 20s, so she probably would have been a little baby. Remember seeing that video of those Palestinians who were dancing with joy when 9/11 happened? Her parents and she would have been amongst those people. But guess what? This is the state of our political culture or our establishment, that people who openly hate the country that they're in, yet their country's establishment or political system is incapable of stopping them in their tracks. That says a lot about our political system. We have seen that in Australia. We've seen that in Britain. Britain is the worst example of that. We've seen in Australia, hijab-wearing women, non-hijab wearing Muslim women, they all hate on Australia. They don't see anything good about Australia, yet they hold political office in Australia. And this woman is about to hold political office in Australia because she has just won the Democratic primary for New York State Senate. This is alarming, guys. We need hundreds of Governor Greg Abbotts and Congressman Randy Fine. Listen to this woman.
And finding that, the system of capitalism and racism and white supremacy, etc., and Islamophobia have all been used, to colonize lands, right, to take resources from other people. And so this is like a long trajectory. And we're just seeing the manifestations of that continuation, right, with 9/11.
9/11 was the manifestation of America exploiting these poor third world countries. She's completely ignorant of American history. She has no idea about the Gilded Age, about America's role in ending colonialism. Very few people know that Roosevelt, in a long list of conditions before joining World War II, told Churchill and Charles de Gaulle that they will have to enter the New World Order on the other side of World War II. And America played a key role in ending colonialism, and America forced Churchill and Charles de Gaulle to liberate their colonies because America was looking at a new world order, thankfully, which is the most benign world order in human history. But these people with their grievances, again, the reason why she's not interested in learning about America or American history is that she's loyal to this garb that she's wearing on her head. She will always be loyal to that. She doesn't care about America. She has no American interest close to her heart. And she's literally rationalizing 9/11. Why do we tolerate this? We don't have to. You don't have to tolerate this. Don't put up with this. This is why I am becoming even more and more hawkish in my approach. And I'm saying, because I'm hearing a lot of these people, they keep beating British people up with the stick of colonialism. They keep saying, well, you colonized us, that's why we're here. No, you know what? Britain did colonize you, as every other civilization before Britain did. But at the same time, Britain didn't have to take you in. Britain went to your countries through force, just like you did when you had power. How about I told you that America can bomb you and still not let you enter America? How about I tell you that Britain can colonize you and still not let you enter Britain? We can do that. Or these migrants are flooding Europe because America bombed their countries. Well, America can keep bombing you and still not let you enter. The only reason why Americans and Westerners don't see it like that is because of their liberalism. They don't have to be that liberal. No civilization in human history has ever called itself wrong. This is the only time when the West itself is drowning in some sort of stupid guilt, when you don't have to feel guilty about your past. You don't have to feel guilty about your past. Yes, the West benefited from slavery, but the West also ended slavery. The West forced the rest of the world to end slavery. Yes, the West colonized you, but then the West liberated you too. India was liberated through political means, not by war. And I know there were some other nuances involved in that too. It wasn't completely out of the goodness of their heart. But why are we chastising the West for not being 100% benign when it comes to projecting its interests? No other civilization has ever done that. So this is why I don't think we need to take lecture from these people, because they will stop at absolutely nothing. They will love to see America dismantled from within. They would love to see every single Western country destroyed from within. So why are we allowing that? Sorry, I went on a rant there. I'm so angry at this. I am so angry that we have these useful idiots in the West who are getting in bed with these people. This is why I also hate the woke right. They focus their attentions on the Jews. How many Jews are in the world? I think there were 6 million Jews in America. 1 million live in New York who are also siding with these people. You know, New York is one of the most Jewish states cities in America. And just like we have useful woke idiots in the West, white people who are woke, just like that we have woke Jews who are getting in bed with these people who would behead them at the first opportunity they get. I guess the point I'm making is that you can't hate the Jews. Like the woke right hate Jews for the reasons they should hate their own community as well. Because you have wokes in the white community as well. So if you have wokes in bleeding heart, lefty, woke, socialist, Islamist, simping Jews, then you have the same in the white community as well. So why do you collectively blame the Jews? Jews, Israel, the state of Israel. This is why I love Israel. Israel is stopping these people. You think these people will stop once Israel falls? You think they would say, oh, America, you abandoned your love baby Israel. Now we're going to leave you. Now we're not going to try to convert America. You listen to these Islamists. They openly tell you that we're not going to stop until Islam enters every house in America. What do they mean by that? Their prophet said that 1400 years ago, that Islam is here to rule the entire world. No Muslim can rest until every inhabitant of this planet is Muslim. We have these useful idiots, both woke left and the woke right.
And so a lot of times when people are asking us to respond about, attack, right? If you look back, like historically, right? A lot of us come from lands that were colonized, lands where wars are being waged, right?
You need to be deported to those lands, and I would urge America to bomb them even more.
A lot of times because of U.S. policy or the policies in Europe. And so I find that we can connect over that, but then also that the idea that we have to apologize for like a terror attack that like a couple of people did, and then there is no apologies or reparations for genocides and for slavery, etc., is something that I kind of find like reprehensible.
She can't even articulate her thoughts clearly because maybe in her mind she's thinking whether I should say that or not. She just justified 9/11 and justified every terrorist attack and said that we shouldn't apologize for it because those are justified because of America's policies. She has just won the Democratic primary for New York State Senate. I can't emphasize enough on the seriousness of this. These people are going to be making a future laws. These people. The Muslim Brotherhood care, which is sympathetic or aligned with the Muslim Brotherhood, their speakers have openly said that they are working towards a goal where they will have 50 congressmen and women by 2028 or by 2030. This is the stated goal, and it looks like Americans are there to help them. Okay, let me move on to the next woman, the woman on the left. Darializa Avila Chevalier was born in Florida to Dominican or Haitian parents. She converted to Islam, claiming that Palestine is the only thing that matters to her. It's the only thing that matters to her. Then maybe we should send her to Gaza. That's what we should do. You should do that. But of course we can't do that because we have laws, we have useful woke idiots who will not let us do that. She openly hates the US, calling it a disgrace of a country, and was part of an organization that calls for its eradication. She was actively engaged with an organization that was calling for the complete dissolution of the United States of America. She also won the Democratic primary for Congress in New York. Let's meet this anti-American woman. This is her.
We all deserve a representative who isn't bought by AIPAC.
But is bought by the Muslim Brotherhood, perfectly fine.
I'm also the only Muslim in my family. I reverted 3 years ago. Actually, the friend who pushed me to do it asked me, why have you fasted for 4 years and yet you haven't taken your Shahada? She's here today. And when she asked me that, I thought, that is a great question. And I thought for myself why I hadn't taken the step yet. But it was seeing how all of my friends who were showing up to organizing, who are Muslim, were showing up in the space, and the grace and love and passion that they had in these spaces of social justice, that really pushed me to join the faith. And wanting to make sure that we are reflecting that I'm reflecting that in every space that I'm in, and that, inshallah, if we make it to Congress, that we're reflecting that in the halls of power as well.
So we're already dealing with Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib in Congress. There's going to be this woman, and there's going to be more Muslims, more congressmen and women, more Muslim congressmen and women in Congress. How is that a good thing? These people, again, they're not hiding who they are, okay? It's not like the movie where, the VP is plotting against the president and the CIA is onto it, and it's very difficult to understand their motives. These people have broadcasted their views. They have told you what they want. And again, if you still think that these people will stop at Israel-Palestine, I'm sorry. I have a beachfront property in Afghanistan to sell to you if you believe that. Let's have a look at this. This is the same woman. Congratulations, constituents of New York 13. Your next congresswoman is the founder of an organization that calls for death to America and the total eradication of Western civilization. That's it, total eradication. This is who she is. Mark Bar America, that's CU Apartheid Divest, CUAD. We are Westerners fighting for the total eradication of Western civilization. We stand in full solidarity with every movement for liberation in the global South. Our intifada is an internationalist one We are fighting for nothing less than the liberation of all people. We reject every genocidal eugenist regime that seeks to undermine the personhood of the colonized. As the fascism ingrained in the American consciousness become ever more explicit and irrefutable, we seek community and instruction from militants in the global south. Who are those militants? ISIS, the Taliban, Boko Haram. They are seeking their instructions, who have been on the front lines in the fight against tyranny and domination, which undergird the imperialist world order. If America falls, all there is good in the world will fall. I don't say this lightly. I'm not saying that. It's not just rhetoric. I'm not just saying it because it sounds good. I genuinely believe in that. Name me any other era of human history when we had this much peace, when we had a superpower that was this accountable. It's not perfect. It's made some serious blunders, okay? But it has also punished its own soldiers for violating human rights. Name me any other era in human history when the global hegemon, when the global superpower held itself to account to any degree. It never did. Name me any. If you were in ancient Rome and you were saying death to ancient Rome, you'll be crucified. Even in the last era of human civilization, even during the British Empire, say, F the king, or death to the king or queen or whoever's in charge. See what happens to you. We can say that in America, in front of the White House, you can burn the American flag and nothing will happen to you. I don't think this is sustainable. Some of the American values that the founding fathers introduced, like free speech is the only Western value that separates the West from every other major civilization. China also has skyscrapers, technological advancements. They've also been to the moon, maybe not human, but they will get there. The UAE and Saudi Arabia have tall skyscrapers. They also have a lot of money. But what none of those countries have is free speech. This is why free speech is a cornerstone of Western civilization. But this is being exploited against the West. These people are not loyal to the West, the people that I showed you. And in the name of free speech, they can even hold public office, political office. You need to come up with a solution really fast. And I worry that because of constitutional free speech, it might be a bit more difficult in America to curb these people than it would be in the UK, for example, because the UK has hate speech laws, and it's only a matter of time when the right wing starts using those hate speech laws against the lefty woke lunatics and the Islamists. The UK has this provision where the Home Secretary can cancel anyone's citizenship on just this one ground, that it is not conducive to the public good. That's it. You don't have to give any explanation. And obviously they use that against Shamima Begum, who is an ISIS Islamist, who went to Syria to fight for ISIS. And she's still languishing there. I know there are only one or two examples, but America can't do that for some reason. Because of constitutional provisions, it's even harder to crack down on those people in America. So I don't know how Americans are going to overcome the challenge. But the moment we have a hard right-wing political party in Britain, you can cancel Mohammed Hijab's British citizenship. And you start doing you do this 5 or 6 times to British citizens, cancel their citizenships because it's not conducive to the public good. Watch how quickly the culture changes. Interesting times ahead. But as I said, America has guns, and Americans are gun-toting patriots. There's a cowboy culture. So a country as big and great and grand as America, good luck trying to bring it down, but don't think that that America is invincible either. Don't think that America cannot be hurt. These people are here to hurt America. And yeah, we're going to need a lot more Greg Abbotts and Randy Fines.